Somebody else that I want to introduce you all to is another friend of the program, and it's Adam Firestone. Adam has been a huge advocate for all things Loyola. I don't want to steal any of his thunder, but Adam has invited us to many conferences that he has hosted. He has allowed us to be the only high school to come down and talk to government officials and expose 16, 17, and 18-year-old students to top-level policymakers and not having a moment's hesitation about letting them talk to his constituency. And that has done wonders for the guys. The top comment, Adam, I get when we come home is, they didn't treat us like children, so which you have never done. So thank you for your support of Loyola. And Adam wants to share a few remarks with us this evening, so I am very appreciative that you made the drive up from Virginia to be with us tonight, and as always, thank you for being here.
You know, the real reason I came was I hadn't believed people when they told me what a thrilling experience 695 was. In the afternoon. Now, so about 2,000 years ago, a Roman poet named Juvenal composed a work called Satires. And in Satires, Juvenal says, "Quis custodiet ipsos custodes." That translates to, "Who will watch the watchman?" So why am I telling you this about a 2,000-year-old piece of comedy at a celebration of cyber, a very modern discipline? Well, I'll tell you. Number one, I was pretty convinced that Loyola was the only place I could go to within 70 miles where people would understand the Latin. But there's more. There's more. I'd like you guys, especially the students, to look at the world around you. And I'll give you a couple of examples of why who will watch the watchman, who will guard the guards matters. So right now the country is embroiled in a debate about encryption technology. I don't necessarily know right or wrong or how that's going to shake out, but I do know a couple of things. Innovation and ideation are the engines that drive this country and this country's economy. And that sets us apart from the rest of the world. We do not exert power, for the most part, by military force. We exert power by giving opportunity, economic opportunity, and laying the seeds of opportunity and democracy all over the world. McDonald's is far more powerful than a fleet of B-2 bombers. So that robust economy that powers the United States depends on continued innovation and invention by Americans. That intellectual property is incredibly, incredibly valuable. About 4 years ago, the director of the National Security Agency described what was going on in terms of cyber as the greatest transfer of wealth in recorded history. American businesses lose upwards of $450 billion, with a B, and depending on whose statistics you believe, up to $1 trillion annually due to cyber theft. So there are many, many solutions, but a big part of the solution is a strong encryption regime that allows the right people access to the ideas and prevents the wrong people from capturing those ideas. Pretty simple. So right now, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which side of the debate you fall down on, there is legislation being discussed, and I'm talking about the Feinstein bill, that would seem to require a weakening of encryption technologies. Some people would say this would prevent the development of American economic power. Maybe yes, maybe no. Like I said, it's an ongoing debate. let me throw in another idea at you, another thing that's going on. And you've all heard of something called the Internet of Things. So, come on, don't be shy. How many of you program your toaster remotely? So nobody's raising their hand because they're embarrassed. But some people are very serious about their library. But the Internet of Things has great promise because it allows us to control, customize, and improve the efficiency of the world around us. And development of IoT, Internet of Things, is happening at light speed. The security of Internet of Things is not. New devices offer great capability, and unfortunately often with great vulnerability. It's like that thing from Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. But we often rush to get these ideas, because that's how Americans are, right? We have an innovative idea, and we want to put it out there as quickly as possible. Let the market decide. Unfortunately, people may be more exposed to harm than ever as they begin to rely on these things without an adequate cyber background to protect themselves. So, back to who will watch the watchmen. The watchmen, in this case, and the things I've described, are industry, political, academic leadership who are charged with making the right decisions about these things, and many, many, many more things. And often they can't. And it's not because they're bad people. It's not because they don't want to. It's because they don't have the tools in the background that you guys have, that you guys have developed here at Loyola. You are the watchers of the watchmen. You have all demonstrated. I mean, check out the awards. I mean, seriously? 3 years in a row? Ruling Maryland? That's pretty impressive, right? But you are the watchers. You have demonstrated your knowledge, your commitment, your capability. And it's going to be up to you as you move forward through your university and follow-on education, through your employment, to hold the leadership who will make the decisions accountable and make them informed, to help them make wise decisions. And when they don't, to gently lead them and teach them so that they can. You are the watchman, and you hold the future in your hands. So let me say one more thing about coming to Loyola. I come here for many reasons annually, not the least of which Steve takes very good care of me. So it's Passover this week, and I'm staring at everything there. And I want to end this with, and by the way, Steve and company, perfect meal for me. Thank you so much. Very appreciated. So I want to leave off with a thought of another first century personality, a sage named Hillel. And Hillel was considered one of the greatest of the Jewish sages. In fact, he invented what we consider today to be the Golden Rule. But he said in one of his most famous teachings, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? And if I am only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? So I turn to you, the students who've made all this possible, and I say to you, if not now, when? Thank you.